Thank you for joining me. We will be live in approximately 1 minute and 30 seconds. We will be live in approximately 1 minute. Hi, and thank you for joining me. My name is Wayne from Ascend Custom Designs. I'm a small business owner and a part of the xTool Squad program. So what is the xTool Squad, you might ask? Well, the xTool Squad is a global network of experienced makers, educators, and small business owners such as myself. We offer one-on-one demos of the xTool products that we own, and I can't stress that enough, that we have brought the xTool products with our own money. So we use them for our own businesses or maybe a hobby. And the demos are a mix of online and in person. It differs by the host that you select, and I'll show you how to find a host shortly. Some hosts will also offer material testing and skill training. So material testing involves testing customer supplied samples under a number of different parameters to get you ideal or perfect results. Whereas skill training is essentially a one-on-one masterclass with an xTool Squad member. We will help you skip the learning curve with help from initial setup and maintenance to helping you perfect your products or projects. Basically, the skill training is whatever you want to get out of it. So whenever a customer books me for skill training, I always reach out to them and see what they're looking for, what are their weaknesses, what are their strengths. Sometimes it's a bit of everything. Sometimes it's more focused in terms of the software or maybe maintaining the equipment. Now, if you do want to check out this squad program, so right now xTool's running a promotion whereby anyone can book a free demo of any of their products absolutely free, so either online or in person. The way that works is xTool will pay the host. So if you book me, for example, I will get paid to demonstrate whatever xTool product you selected that I own. And it's a fantastic opportunity for you to get some hands-on experience if it's in person. If not, you can still experience the product. But what it means is I don't have to force a sale. I can give you an honest demo. I get paid regardless if you buy a machine or not. If you do go on to buy a machine, the host that you book with will get a small commission. Now, if you want to find out more information about that, I will drop a link in the comments. And if we switch over to Safari, I will show you exactly where to find this. So if you're looking for a demo now, if you go up to local support and free product demo, and what will happen is you'll get a tab pop up. And as you can see here, absolutely free. Any of their products, absolutely free for a demo. If you're looking for a sample film to be sent out to you, and this is with the Power Printer, there is a small fee for that, and that is £12.99 Great British pounds. If you're in Europe, it's €13.99, and so on and so forth. But in terms of the actual demonstration of the products, absolutely free. Now, if you say to me, Wayne, I want a demo, I want one in person, I'm based in Luton, it's a simple case of going in person, Luton, and then you might go, do you know what, I'm looking for the Apparel Printer. The Apparel Printer looks absolutely fantastic. And you can see straight away you have a couple of options. So there's Paul and Andy. So if I was to click on Paul, for example, I can see he's got 14 5-star reviews. I simply click on Paul and I am sent straight to his page. I can then book time that is convenient for both me and him. And it asks you for no payment information. So if you're booking a demo, it doesn't cost you a single thing. Now, if you're looking for material testing or skill training, you can see there is a cost associated with that. And that differs by host. I have my rates, for example, Paul will have his. But the product demo, absolutely free. So I highly advise you take xTool up on this wonderful opportunity that they're offering at the moment. I don't know how long it will last, but it's a fantastic way for you to see the machines up close and personal if you choose in person. If not, you can still get a good demo online. So you have a variety of options if you're seriously considering getting an xTool machine, whether it be a heat press, a laser, or a printer. So xTool have a couple of printers in the sense of they have the Apparel printer and they have the O1. So the O1 is xTool's latest product, which you will see on here. So if I was to refresh the page, you will see the O1. So me, like a lot of people, are eagerly awaiting this to be shipped. So I was hoping next week, but by the looks of it, things have been delayed a couple of weeks in customs. But I cannot wait to show you this machine once I get it. So once I get it, I will be demoing it live here. I'll be using it in conjunction with custom things. So we can get some interaction from people in the comments. I can post some links and you can upload your own designs and I can print them off in real time. So that's the idea. So if we just jump over to the workshop, so this is just a rough idea. I'm not going to set to it. So I have 3 machines here in the office. I have the M2, the F2, the F2 Ultra UV. And what I mainly want to cover today is the new product releases and xTool Studio features. So without further ado, xTool have released some sneak peeks about a new product that is the next gen, is what they call it, next generation laser. So if we switch straight over to that, xTool are going to release more information at the X1 tech launch, and that is on the 27th of August. So put that in your calendars. So what I'll do is I will drop this information in the comments. If you can't attend the Next Level Maker Conference 2026, you can watch it online. I will be watching online. And if you want to watch online, it is online on the 27th of August at 11 p.m. GMT. So if you're in the UK, it's at 11 p.m. at night. You can find it in one of those 2 links. First one will take you to Facebook, YouTube, sorry, and the second one will take you to Facebook. So you have a couple of different options to watch live if you're interested in seeing what the next generation laser is going to look like. And I did say that I'll show you a video of it. So if I just play a video now, so this is a speed test. You might be able to hear that speed, the machine. I'll just lower the volume just a little bit. There we go. So you can see the X1 along the top and a third-party machine down below. And you might be thinking, okay, and this is both operating at the same speed. So you can see that the same job was completed in 3 minutes and 5 seconds on the new xTool X1, whereas the same job took 1 hour and 24 minutes and 15 seconds. I repeat, that's the same job, same material, same design. It's 27 times faster than the competition. So if you're interested in finding more information about this machine, please do check the link that I've posted in the comments. Now, You might be saying that it might sacrifice some quality. This is stuff that's readily available on xTool's Facebook page. And what I'll do is I will drop a link in the comments to xTool's Facebook group. This is the official group that has been rebranded as the xTool X1 Laser official group. And you can find all this, what I'm showing you here, there. So you can see the xTool X1 versus a third party engraving the same image. And although it's 27 times faster, the quality has not been compromised. So the quality is absolutely fantastic. So if you're considering buying a machine, check this machine out. Honestly, check this machine out. I'm not sure what type of laser it's going to be yet. We will find out on the 27th. So it's just under a week away. So again, if you want to find out more information about that, follow the links that I posted in the comments. So what I want to do now is I want to jump over to xTool Creative, xTool Studio, or formerly xTool Creative Space. So this is xTool Studio. So anyone that's been with xTool a while, this was previously XCS or xTool Creative Space. It has since gone through a few updates and it's now rebranded as xTool Studio. This is a pretty much one-stop shop for all your laser needs, as well as design. So one of the great features of this software is it doesn't just run your lasers. So by that I mean, if you have assets and multiple computers, you can upload your assets. So you have 2 gigabytes of space. This will sync to the account that you're logged in under. So I have a couple of different PCs I have this on, as well as a laptop. So when I'm at a craft fair, if I have internet access, I'm able to sync all my projects down. So this is fantastic. I'm now able to tag them and give them a more meaningful names. So for example, I could tag a lot of Christmas assets with the Christmas tag. And when I click on the tags and select Christmas, all those resources are readily available for me. Now, Atom, this is its own website as well. So if you're looking for the website, if you go to atom.com, that's ATOMM.com, you'll find this as well. So this is just some of the stuff from Atom. You can easily find products. So I was helping a customer yesterday shoot cat tower, and it's a simple case of opening it up. So I'm just going to open it up, open up a new project. It opens up on a new machine. It's actually connected to my M2. And you can see there actually where I cut out a single cat just there from the wood. So I'm not restrained to just using this. This is a fully fledged product. And I can simply ungroup it and can move stuff over. So I'm going to group this. I'm just right clicking and you can click on group on the toolbar, and I'm going over here. So I was able to just do that and cut out just a single cat. And if you're wondering how does it look, if I was to just switch this over, it looks absolutely fantastic. So Atom is your one-stop shop for looking for projects, and it loads up that project directly into xTool Studio, ready for you to use. More than that, it will also select the appropriate settings for the material that you select. So right now, if I was to select, say, I get rid of all of this, and I select the red layer and go, actually, I want that as a cut layer. The green layer, I want that as a score, and the purple layer, I want that as an engrave. You can see that right now it's all just set to the same power 1. So if I was to click on that again, so you can see the red layer, power 1, speed 16. Now, if I was to change that to the correct material, so this is give or take 1/8 inch or 3mm bass plywood. If I apply that, and let's just ungroup this so I can select in the individual elements. So again, ungroup. Now I'm just going to zoom in. When I click on this red layer, so you can see here it's selected, I always have the red layer as a cut layer, just so when I visually look at something, I know red means cut. Now, you can see here it's automatically set some settings. So 100 power, 4 speed. If I click on one of the purple elements, it's engrave, 80 power, 200 speed. It's got the air assist on. So one of the new features previously to this, when air assist was on, it was on by a project basis, and it was set in the settings. So up here, you have device settings, and the exhaust fan speed, you can see it all here. In terms of the air assist, it was set in here. Now I can set the air assist on an item by item basis. So I can have that as 15, but I could say, do you know what, when it does that, I want air assist at 90. And I repeat, so if I click on that, you can see 15, 90. So this is wonderful news. So there's even more granular detail that you can have when you start engraving. It's not on a project by project basis. Air assist is fantastic to have. And there's reasons why you might want to increase it or decrease it. So I won't get into them today, but it's a fantastic addition. Now, one of the new features of this software is when you hit this preview button, I've selected the material, it will give an outline so I can see an expanded look of how it's going to look. And bear in mind, this is just for preview purposes. It's not exactly going to look like this, but it's very good for visualization. So I can see how it's going to drop out. So that is the product that is going to end up dropping out. So if you're wondering, that is this little cat that I've got here. And what is going to be left is the bottom. So that's the hole that's going to be left. And the reason I say this is important is, let's just say we're going to do some text. So actually we're going to engrave that, but we'll also cut out some text. And we'll cut out Wayne 20. So this is the coupon code. I'm very bad at doing this. I should put it in the comments actually. If you're looking to purchase a machine, they're on sale right now, the school sale. So what I'll do is I'll drop some information into comments. If you're looking at purchasing a machine, you can use this coupon. This is an additional £20 off the sale price. So right now there's a sale running. Typically you can't stack coupon codes. This coupon code will stack, and yes, it will give you £20 off the O1 as well. So this doesn't work with the Wonderpress, unfortunately, but it works with any laser or print device that xTool sells. Now, if we click on this, I'm just going to group this back up. What I'm going to do is hide it. So when you select this output off, the laser will ignore it. So when I hit this preview item again, you won't see the cat. You'll see this. So right now, this is set to engrave. So you can see that looks fantastic. Now, what if I was to cut it? If I select cut and preview. If I go to top, you can see, wait a minute, that looks a bit weird. There we go. And that's how it will fall out. So it's not all one word. It's all single letters. So you go, yeah, I don't want that. You know, and this is what the bottom will look like. So if you're wondering where this comes from, this is the middle piece of the 0 in the 20 in the coupon. So Wayne 20. So there's a few different options. You can weld them together. So there's varying ways you can do it. So from my experience, the easiest way is to choose a font where they're joined up. There's no easy font, but basically I usually have a font that they're all touching. You can weld them together. You can adjust spacing. So you can see here the spacing, and they touch each other. So there's various ways you can do it to make it come out as one single item. So this preview function here, absolutely fantastic. Now, it doesn't just stop there. So the innovation on xTool side, they've added the ability to edit the actual vector or edit the nodes on it. So by that I mean, if I was to create a square and I was to overlap it, say, with a star, under here you have this trim button. And I can go, do you know what? I want to trim that, trim that, trim that, trim that, trim that. And it's that simple. So they've made things nice and easy. I can go exit. Now, if I look at this one and we do the same thing, trim, you can go, if I trim that, it's going to trim all of that. So we have a couple of options. Again, I can do it this way. And we will select the trim. There we go. It's pretty much basic like that. That's the hard way though. So if we go the easy way, if I'm just going to select this red layer here and I'm just going to hit edit, click on this and just click delete, delete. So click on that and I'm just clicking delete. This is the easy way to do it, by the way. So there's many options that you can do. And typically, whether you want to edit the node, so when I select that red, it's just selected that red layer. So that again is edit under here. So edit the vector file or trim it. It really depends on your needs. Trimming comes in handy if it's very straightforward. So by straightforward, I mean I've got a simple vector file like that and a simple vector file like this. And all I want to do is I want to trim in between. So I don't have any overlapping elements. It's very straightforward. And this just comes in handy. There's various uses for this. Now, that's just one of an array of features that xTool has released in the software. So these are software-based features. So if you're saying to me, Wayne, this looks complicated, it's, I might struggle with it. Guess what? If we go back to the home screen, xTool have you covered. You got the xTool Academy. So you might say, I'm using the F2. How do I get started? Unboxing. We got the user guide there, the list of items. So what each item is, what it does. So grease. So for example, for the longest time, there was this Sheng, I think it's called Sheng Peng. And I had absolutely no idea what it does. And I was looking for the grease or Peng Sheng, sorry. So this is the grease, for example. And you might say, where does that go on the F2? Well, on the F2, you lift the lid up and down. That's the moving part, and it's simply to grease the enclosure. So when it goes up and down, it goes up and down smoother. So this, little things like this come in very handy, knowing what does what. And if you're okay with the basics, you might want to go beyond that. you do have other resources available to you. So right now they've got the getting started with the O1. I'm going to be watching these videos and I'm going to do it before I get the O1. So I'm going to hit the ground running in terms of unboxing, maintaining it, troubleshooting. These machines are not maintenance-free machines. If someone says that you can buy a laser and you do not have to ever do anything with it, they will be lying to you. So xTool are very straightforward, very upfront. These machines do require maintenance and it's very easy. Sometimes it's as simple as vacuuming it out. So for example, this M2, every single time I use it, I vac it out quickly. It takes me all but 20 seconds maybe. At the end of the week, I do a deeper clean. And I do the same things for my other lasers. And I'm not talking doing a deep clean after every project, but just a quick sweep, get debris off the bed, goes a very long way. Now, you might be saying that sounds complicated, maintenance. It's simple as cleaning the lens. So when you clean the lens, I use isopropyl alcohol, so a mixture of 10% water, added to 100% solution. So I'll water it down to 90% typically, isopropyl alcohol. That's what I use. You can also use cleaning wipes for your lenses. So these are specifically glass cleaning wipes. These are used for high-end telescopes and binoculars. I use them for my glasses. I've used them for my lasers. Always check the recommendations of what you're supposed to clean it with. So you're not going to be cleaning it with washing up liquid, things like that. That's a no-no. So isopropyl alcohol, something that will dissipate. And it's just simple things like that. Vacuuming out the fan to get all the debris as it sucks out the smoke. Cleaning it with a little cotton bud or Q-tip. It's honestly very, very simple things that go a long way. So xTool have you covered. You can check these videos out. If you want to upgrade your knowledge, I highly recommend you check out Paul's video, Start and Scale Your Laser Business. Paul has a very successful Etsy shop and he's give us glimpses of how we can replicate his success in our business. So please do check this out. Lots of good stuff. That's food for thought. You can also follow him on his various social medias here. And it's not very long. It's honestly very simple, very straightforward videos that are easy to digest. That's not too much at once, and go through it at your own pace. So these are all videos. You can see here, video, 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 video. Honestly, xTool have done a wonderful job adding the academy. I constantly get asked if there's official resources, and they're not talking about just PDFs. People want to see videos, and xTool have listened and done official resources for you. Now, if we jump straight into a project, so what I want to show you today is the xTool F2 Ultra UV. So if I jump over to that device, I want to show you the auto mode on that. So I've showed you the auto mode on the M2. So the auto mode here, it will automatically detect the material. It will focus it. xTool have updated the software and enabled it on the F2. So it's enabled here on the F2. And they've also enabled it on the Ultras. Now, if I switch this from here to the F2 Ultra UV, it will then take a snapshot. So right now I have the cutting plate in the F2. Now, if we go onto the settings, so if you want to go onto the settings for the device that you're controlling, you'll see the device up here. Now, if you want to switch the device, if you hover over it, it will tell you to switch device / connect device. And next to that is the device settings specifically for the device that you're on. So we click on that. We're greeted with a few different options. One of the new things I also want to point out is the ability to link your specific device when you log in for warranty purposes. So you can link your order. So if you've logged in and you use that account, order the machine, you can pull that information here and you can link it. And I think that's very handy to have. In the UK, I believe the warranty is 2 years, which is a long time. And I just recently updated the firmware. So yesterday, you might have seen when I connected to it, it asked for a firmware update that fixed the bug where the automation mode gets stuck. Well, you can see that I've updated it. There's no more firmware available for this at the moment because I've updated it. So if I go to device settings, I'm going to stop when the enclosure is opened. So what that does is it means I cannot open this machine up and operate it with the lid open. If you operate the F2 or the F2 Ultra with the lid open, you will need the appropriate safety glasses. So I do usually cover that, but I won't in this instance. But I'm just going to enable that there, and then I'm going to say auto mode on. So for processing accuracy, after enabling auto mode, place the material in the base plate center and ensure the combined red-blue spot falls on the surface of the material. So basically, the blue dot always stays in one place and the red dot will move around, and you want to focus the red dot into the blue dot so they become one, and that means the laser is the perfect distance, the ideal distance from the material to get you perfect results. So if you place it in the bed and the red dot's all the way to the left or the right, place it where the blue dot touches it and it will automatically move that red dot, intersect with the blue dot. So we've got auto mode on, and you can see now this has changed. So I'm going to leave the base plate in, and what we'll do is we'll do some cutting on it. So I did already cut some stuff out of here. I did it on the back of my dog that I engraved. So I'm going to place this over into the F2. If I just zoom over to the F2 just so you can see it, maybe I'll zoom in a little bit more. There we go. So all I'm going to do is lift this up. And I'm purposely going to move the blue dot and the red dot. So you might have just seen that on the screen. It automatically updated the picture. So when I move the laser up or down, it takes a picture. So by that I mean, I'm moving this, it doesn't take a picture. Now, if I manually move this red dot, it's taking a picture. So anyway, what I'll do, I can see that blue dot here. And what I'll do is I'll move this up. I'm going to shut it, and automation mode is enabled. So right now, it's actually making a sound. It's finding the focus. You can see here, focus has been successful. No material information detected. So you might be saying, what is that? So one of the features of xTool Select Material, so if you buy material directly from xTool, they will send you a QR code, a little QR code with the pack of material. So by that, if I was to select a keychain, so I have this keychain and it comes with a QR code. Now, if I was to place that in the bed, when we do this autofocus, it will find the materials for that, and we'll do that shortly. So I'll show you how to do that as well. And this works for the F2 as well. I've demonstrated it with the F2. So here I'm going to select bass plywood. And what we'll do is we'll just do something very simple. So all I'm going to do is create a rectangle. I'm going to set this to red. And this will be a cut. And this material is just slightly different than the 3mm there. This is not xTool material, by the way, but this is very similar material. So what I'm going to do here, the engrave settings are typically fine. So I'm just going to engrave Wayne 20. Engrave. And I'll set that to blue. And again, the reason why I do this, the layers, is not the colors that will come out. This is for your purposes. So when I look at this, if I was to just open this resource now, I will look at that and go straight away. That red is going to be cut out. and the wane is going to be engraved. Typically, if I'm going to do scoring, I set it to green, and all the other colors are various engraves. And you might go, why would you want to, let's just say I do wane there. In fact, if we duplicate this and I just have the 20 and I'll set that to purple, and then maybe I go put that in there. There we go. So these are two different elements here, wane and 20. I've set the 20 to engrave also, but what I can do is, because this is purple layer, I might actually want this a darker result. So you can see the blue layer I've set to 85, 225, 100 and 100 for the engrave. And here I've used xTool's reference library. When you click on this, it will automatically change the settings. If I click on it here, it will change the settings to 70 power, 475 speed. I'll move this here and I will hit process. It's going to take 1 minute and 26 seconds. So I'll hit start, and what I'm going to do is post this out the hose pipe out the back of the window. So right now I have this venting, or will do. I have this venting outside, so I'm just going to open up the window. There is a pipe here, so just so you can see it on the screen, I'm going to post that out the window. And to start it, I'm just going to simply press the button on the pad. If I was to zoom in now, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. Let's try. There we go. So you can see there is some level of smoke, in the sense of, and it's not smoke in the same way. So the F2 Ultra uses a UV laser. So it's 5 watts of UV laser. And it's sometimes referred to as a cold processing laser. And that's not to say it doesn't produce heat. What that means is it does produce some level of heat, but the amount of heat it produces in comparison to the other types of laser like diode, infrared, CO2 is very, very minimal. So you can create a fire with a UV laser. It's just more difficult. So the UV laser produces very little heat. And again, it's not no heat. It just produces little heat. But the way that it engraves and cuts material, in fact, is vastly different. So it uses its high photon energy to break down the molecular bonds of the material. So in this case, the wood. And it does so with little heat. And because of that, you're able to get very crisp results, which I'll show you. So that is done. And you'll be able to see the difference. So I switch over to the desk camera to just show you this. So absolutely no child marks. Now, if you have a look here, you can see some of the residue. I don't know how well you can see that on the camera, but you can see some of the residue here. So that is from the engraving. But you can see the settings, 100, the settings are different. So on the wane 20, so this is the coupon code, you can see the 20 is definitely much darker than the rest of the engrave. So if you're wondering why color code things, maybe you want to highlight certain aspects when you engrave, and to get different levels of, or different shades on the material, you're able to color code them, so you know as a visual aid when you're designing that this is either going to be darker or lighter. And I do use a similar process in terms of changing the settings. So for example, this is a 2 laser job. This was engraved on the f2. The butterfly was engraved on the f2 Ultra UV. So because it's able to control, it has very localized heat. So it has minimal heat, but I can change the certain settings on the f2 Ultra UV that I can't do on the other lasers. And I'm able to get a reaction to happen on the slate that makes this look painted on. It's gold. And this is a repeatable thing that I'm able to do repeatedly. So it's not just a one-off. I don't have to try this 6 times to get one good result. If I want something gold, it happens 100% of the time on the f2 Ultra UV. And this looks like gold paint and it feels raised. And again, that's a 2-step process. This has been engraved on the f2 using the diode laser. This is the f2 Ultra UV. So it's fantastic. I did these live probably about 6 weeks ago. So that's just one of the many things that you can do on xTool Studio with multiple lasers. So again, you can see that 20. And it does use different settings because that's how we set it up. So it's very effortless to use xTool Studio. Now, if you was to say, let's try this automation mode again. So you can see up here, auto mode is still very much enabled. When I open and close that lid, it automatically kicks in. So I'm going to put this on the bed. So what I'll do is I'll cut through to there. So what I'll do first off is I'll take out this cutting plate. So if you're cutting things, this allows you to protect your bed as well as get airflow underneath the item. And all I'm going to do is just put this here. And what I'm going to do is actually put this on here. So the reason for that is this, I don't know if you can see, does not sit flat because of this metal piece here. So I don't know how well you can see that, but if I put that there, you can see there's this gap underneath. So what I tend to do is just raise it up just a little bit. So now this actually sits flat. And what I'm going to do is just put this in here, just so it's in view of the camera. As soon as I close this down, it will automatically focus. So again, you can see here, it's focusing, it's capturing the background. Material identified, varnished beechwood. And again, that's using xTool Select material. So if you are looking to buy xTool Select material, I'll drop a link in the comments and I'll show you some of xTool Select material on their website. So we'll go onto their website. But again, it's a similar thing. So it might be that we don't need to cut it out. I'll select both of these and go, do you know what? We're selecting both the same settings. In this time, because we're not doing 2 different ones, I'll delete that. And I'll just go like that. And you can just turn it to the way that you want it. So this isn't quite level. And again, you can just move things to the way that you want to move it. And it's that simple, honestly. If I move down, you can frame it. So framing comes in handy if you want to make sure you've got things exactly where you want it. You won't get a good view of the frame in here, so I won't do it. And again, we got this preview, so you can preview just how it looks. And it's that simple. So if we was to just jump over onto xTool's website, If we scroll on the top to material, you've got shop all material. And right now, some of the materials are up to 25% off. So I should note, you're not just limited to xTool material. You can use your own material as long as you do a material test. So for example, that wood that I cut out, that's not xTool material, but it's very similar to the material that I selected, that 3mm plywood, and that got me in the ballpark. So you're not limited to just using xTool material. You should always check if the material is laser safe. So for example, if you are cutting leather, you should first know where the leather comes from. So is it authentic leather or is it fake leather? So PU leather. If it's authentic leather, real leather, how has it been tanned? So what chemicals have been used to tan the leather? And that is important because you don't want to be releasing formaldehyde or something like that because it's been tanned in chemicals. So vegetable tanned leather, absolutely fine. When it comes to fake leather, you can engrave and cut fake leather. You just need to be wary of what is in that fake leather. If PVC has been used in it, that's a no-no. So PVC is very dangerous to engrave or cut, so to combust. It effectively will damage your lungs with the gas as well as corrode your laser. So it's a double whammy. It will damage you and it will damage your machine. So always know your materials. I always know my materials and it's important to do so. So xTool have a wide variety of options. So depending on what you're looking at. So you could say to me, Wayne, I've got the O1 coming. What can I do? If I go over to material, O1 printing, a lot of this under the printing specifically is just print related stuff. So it's not necessarily material in the way that we think of a finished product. It's consumables. So you have the ink. So I've ordered so many sets of these ink. It's unbelievable. I'm going to be having enough ink forever, it seems, with the amount that I've ordered, but I plan on using the O1 extensively. They also have these primer wipes. So next week, I am going to go over some of these aspects. So why would you use a primer or promoter? So for example, acrylic, it says it can print directly to rigid objects. That's absolutely right. But if you want it to last forever or have a more high-end finish and not just flake off, you can use these primers or promoters to make sure the UV ink properly adheres to the substrate. So for example, if I click on the wipes, and again, you don't have to do this. It's sometimes recommended. So glass and ceramics. And these are 50 wipes. So little wipes, they're a bit smaller than this. And you'll rip it open and wipe the product down. So one wipe can actually use several products. So for example, ball balls, my acrylic ball balls, I won't just use one per cutout. I might use one of them for a couple. Well, I say a couple for a few. And you got one for metal and again, one for acrylic. So you have your different options. And this just promotes the UV ink to adhere better. So you can do it without doing this. But if you want a more premium product, I highly recommend doing that. xTool have just added the UV DTF A and B film roll, as well as the cutouts, so the pre-cut sheets. So if you're looking to do UV DTF stickers, this is where you can go. And again, you can use third-party material, but xTool have made it nice and easy for you to be able to get material that you know works. So it might be that you use this material to start with, and then third-party, or maybe you already have a UV printer and want to use your material for that for xTool's UV printer. Give it a try. So they also have the hot stamping file. So I can't wait to give this a try. So you'll need the laminator for this, and you'll also need the other film to remove to weed it effectively. So rather than weeding it with how you would with vinyl, you use another film that will rip off the invert cut of what you don't want. So I highly recommend you check this out. And again, if you're looking for just normal material, you go, do you know what? I'm looking to do some glass and I want to print on it. xTool have you covered. So they have a variety of options. Glass is pretty expensive. This is K9 glass. If you were printing to it, you won't need K9 glass. K9 is the quality of glass, and that's quality you'll need to be able to do 3D engraves on the inside of glass using the F2 Ultra UV. Now, if you would say we'll do acrylic, if you have a CO2 machine, you could use xTool's print or print and cut feature. Or maybe you cut it out first and then print on it, whatever you prefer, really. So they have all this material available to you. So let's just say you went with some clear material. You was to buy this and cut it out on your CO2 laser. You are able to do a print and cut. So if we go to here, to the home screen, when we go on new project, you see this multi-device mode beta. So this is a new feature, and xTool have just added in this update, latest update, the other machines they said they were going to add. So people were getting a little bit worried that the P2S and the M2, for example, wasn't on there. xTool have added that on there. So you don't, I mean, yeah, you need a working printer in that sense. I've seen xTool's UV printer up close in person, and it does work. It works absolutely fantastic. I can't, that's one of the reasons why I've ordered it. So I was hoping to get it this following week, but it's been delayed a couple of weeks by the seams of it. So if I was to use the P2S, I'm able to use xTool's xTool select material, cut out what I want, and then print on it. Or in this case, the print and cut, I print on it first and then I cut it. So xTool have you set up in a variety of different ways. So what I've been doing, I've not got my O1 yet, like many people, but I have been doing some costing in terms of cost it's going to take me in terms of ink, cost in time. And all I've done is I've just went up here and gone to device library, selected the O1. So if you was to download this software today, you can try out the O1. There's some things that you can't do, but for what I want to do, it's absolutely fine. So if you want to try out this software today, it's absolutely free. Give it a download. And I'm able to see just how long it will take to do these things in there. So these are some designs I have ready for Christmas. These are personal ones at the moment, but these will be comparable to designs that I'll be printing out for customers, for their pets, for their family portraits. So if I hit process, I can actually calculate here how much ink it's going to use. So right now it's thinking about it, it's going to take 30 minutes to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I go to cost settings, I can enter in the cost settings for the ink. So you could go, do you know what is the cost settings? So if we switch over to Safari and we go to the material and we have a look, we go to UV printing and we have a look at the pricing for this. So and work off the list price as opposed to sale price. So that's for a set. So the white ink is $17.99. So what's the most expensive? So in terms of color ink, we'll go with $17.99. So here we could go $17.99. Oh. What I tend to do is for waste and other things, I'm just going to enter £25. The white ink, if we go over again and just have a look at the white ink, so the varnish is £21, flexible white, rigid white. So we'll do 30, 30, we'll do 30 all round. So I'm just not entering in the proper cost, but what cost I want to use for costing, so I can make a little bit of money on that. I hit confirm. And there we have it. The cost is going to be 18, call it 19p in ink. And that's with me raising the cost of the ink just to cover some wastage. And it's that simple. So I know how long roughly it's going to take. So if I was to do one design, I could go, do you know what? Like how much to do just one design by itself. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 designs. So if it's taking 31 minutes, say, divide by 5, that's about 6 minutes, just over 6 minutes. About 6 minutes, 10 seconds, something like that per one. And you might think that's a long time, but you can batch these out. How many can you fit on the A3 base plate? 4, 8, 12. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So you can batch them out quite reasonably. And if you're thinking of doing like a Christmas craft fair, maybe you have pre-made designs that are printed onto the UV DTF sheets. So people can select the designs that they want and you can apply it directly to the acrylic. And you do have options. So how you want it to print. So right now I have it create a white layer first and then the color layer on top. So the acrylic baubles, the flat acrylic baubles that I'm going to do are clear acrylic. So I want to do a white coat first. Then I will do a color coat. And you might want to change it. So if you print on the one end, because it's clear when you look, you'll just see white on the back end. Now, maybe you want to do things differently. So maybe you want color, white, color. So if we have a look at color, white, color, and I click on preview, so you can see this one here is color, white, color. If we flip it over on the back, you can see the difference. So what do we want to do? And there's numerous things I want to do with this machine, and I absolutely cannot wait to get it and show you live just some of the things it can do. So again, that was just me making a slight change. And it could be, you say, do you know what? What's the cost difference between doing that? So I've disabled the output. If I hit process, it will only show that one. So we can see here, this is going to take 8 minutes and 14 seconds. And cost-wise, we'll call it 4p. It's going to cost 4p in ink, 8 minutes of time. Not that I'll be doing much because the machine is going to be working, but I'll attribute a cost to running the machine for wear and tear, for electric. So I can work out costs like that. So I know what the minimum sale price is going to be. So that's going to take 8 minutes and use 4p's worth of ink, say, well, 3.5p. So 3.5p of ink. And again, if we just change that back to white plus color, hit process, it's going to take 5 minutes. So it takes an extra 3 minutes to add that, and it uses 0.27. So it uses it in terms of ink, the difference is marginal, really. But if you look at it as a percentage, it's about 50% more ink, I would say, or thereabouts. So that's just some of the things that you can do today before you get the O1. And that's what I've been doing. I'm in the same boat as everyone else. I've ordered the machine from day one, and I've got my shipping notification, but I got an email today to say it was delayed. And xTool have done a wonderful job in communicating that to me, so I didn't find this out next week when I'm expecting it. And on top of that, they're rolling out coupons for the delay in the UK, and that's due to customs, I believe. So please do check your emails if you're in the first batch. And I think it's just the people that are affected in the first batch, so it's not necessarily everyone. So do check out xTool's official group for more information. Check your emails. And that is pretty much all the time we have for this week. Now, if I have a look when I'm next online, so I'm next online on Monday. I won't be online on Tuesday. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I'm online 5 days next week. I'll be covering similar things. I was hoping to cover the O1 specifically because it was due next week. If it does somehow by miracle turn up, I will be demonstrating it live. And it very much will be live. I've got very limited exposure to the O1 other than using this software here. So because I'm used to using xTool's lasers, I don't foresee any issues with me using the machine. It's going to be knowing the certain nuances. So when to use white color white or color white color, when to use varnish, when to, what specific, because it's a multi varnish. So you have many options when you do the varnish. So you got matte, gloss, and false stamping. So it'd just be the little nuances there, but I anticipate it being fantastic. So I can't wait to use this machine. Please do check out the links that I've posted about the X1 on the 27th, the launch event. I've posted the links there for the YouTube and Facebook Live at 11 p.m. UK time, where they're going to unveil the next generation laser and what that means. So I'm going to be tuning into that event. Thank you for your time, and I'll be online again next week. Please do check out xTool's events page for the next live event.